one's probably going to get me in a little bit of trouble. It's controversial, but it's necessary. Let's talk about it. You've got questions, I've got answers. Curious about these and why you've been getting pops in them and other Funko questions? Let's talk about it, guys. Hey everybody, Mikey Vintage here. Welcome back to my channel, my Funko friends. So guys, today is going to be a different one. We are going to discuss some topics that I feel are necessary, and you guys deserve some answers and some of my insight from working into retail on those questions. So, stay tuned with me till the end, and I'm going to cover just about anything and everything that recently and lately us as Funko fanatics and collectors have been wondering. So, again, I can't speak for every retailer, and I can't speak for every store, but I'm going to tell you my personal experience working with retail when it comes to frequently answered questions and popular things that we've got asked as far as Funkos. Like, are you curious why your Funko Pops lately have been getting sent in bubble mailers and maybe a sorter, maybe not? Stay tuned to the end, guys, and we'll dive into it and I'll let you know. So, for those of you that don't know, I worked at Hot Topic from November of 2019 until March of 2020. So, in that time, I am a very observant person. I'm like a sponge. I like to absorb and learn all that I can about the company. So, Hot Topic has been selling Funkos for a little bit now, but they are super popular now, which is obvious. So, Walmart and Target and Hot Topic are probably three of the most frequently purchased retailers, the most popular retailers as far as Funkos go. I mean, obviously there's toy companies that are super popular, but when it comes to Funko Pops, if I could even tell you guys the number, or you could even wrap your mind around the amount of money that these retailers not only make, but the percentage of cut that they get from their Funko sales, it's to the point now where I'm pretty positive they sell more Funkos than they do band merch. Maybe they sell more accessories. Again, I don't have those exact numbers, but I know for a fact that Funko is popular. So, the reason why I'm making this video is to give you my insight, like I said, from a Funko collector's perspective, but also pretty much I no longer work there, guys, so I've got nothing to lose here. So, again, one of the most popular questions that we got asked is, why did the Funko return policy change a lot? And that I don't have the answer to, but what I will tell you is that in that window of time that I worked from November until March of 2020, the Funko Pop policy changed 3 times as far as purchasing and returning. Now, by the time that I was on my way out, it had changed to, obviously there's a limit, that has always been in effect, but the amount of time that you had to return a Funko Pop, if I'm not mistaken, like I said, this could vary places, but speaking from my experience, when I sold a Funko Pop, I was told to tell people that you have 3 days to return it, and it has to be in the box, and you have to have a receipt. You cannot return it without a receipt, and you cannot return it if it is out of the box, so it has to be in the box. Another frequently answered question that we would get as far as hot cash. Now, I'm going to tell you from the seller's perspective, and I'm going to tell you from the associate's perspective. From the associate's perspective, a lot of people don't know this. Hot Topic keeps track of the amount of hot cash that they have on hand in the store and how much they have when the store closes. That way they can make sure that associates did not take any hot cash. That way they can make sure that customers did not take hot cash. And that way they can make sure that associates weren't hooking up customers with said extra hot cash. Say you're entitled to 1 and I give you 2. Nope, that's an automatic termination. Any of those things is an automatic termination. As an associate, if I were to give out an extra hot cash, that's ground for termination, no question about it. If I took home a hot cash myself, if I stole one, that's an automatic termination right there. And if a customer, they would check the cameras, if there was reason for them to believe that they were short based on what it projected that they had sold that day, it keeps track because you have to scan. There's a serial number. There's a serial number, I believe there's a barcode on the hot cash. So you have to either scan it or you have to type in the serial number. So they keep track of how many hot cash they started with at the day, and then how many hot cash they had at the end of sales. So, those may not be too popular questions, but those are a little bit of my insight that you may have been wondering about as far as hot cash. How do they keep track? How do they know? What if you were to just take one? What if you gave an extra one away? They know. They keep track of that. Just like they count down your drawer at the end of the day, they count down how many hot cash they start off with at the end of the day and how many they had at the end of the night to make sure that there weren't any discrepancies, because they can check the cameras, number one. Number two, they can ask every employee that worked, hey, how many hot cash did you give out? How many hot cash did you sell? Because it's showing here that you sold 5, but you're short 6 from your stack. So things like that. And then also as far as the Funko sales, a lot of people may not know that, but the amount of money that Funko makes from, the amount of money that those retailers make from having their own exclusives, from just sales in general, is just, like I said, if I'm not mathematically there, but from what I saw as far as projected sales, we sold the majority of Funko, and then I believe it was accessories and body jewelry and stuff like that, and then it went band merch. And so a lot of people have the impression that it's music memorabilia, band merch, this and that. No. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there's one other tier that went before band merch, and that was anime merch. Anime merch was huge. So Funko Pop sales, body jewelry and accessories, anime merch, and then band merch. So Funko Pop sales is just, like I said, I don't know the exact number, but I'm pretty sure that's where the majority of the money comes from. So, with that being said, one of the biggest popular questions is, why is Hot Topic and other companies, I can't speak for them, but I'm going to speak for Hot Topic as far as what I know and what I found out. So why is my Funko Pops being sent to me in a bubble mailer and a sorter, sometimes not a sorter? So I don't have an exact answer, but I'm going to give you my insight from 3 different people that I spoke to. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I am a sponge. I like to absorb a lot of knowledge. So this whole Funko sending Pops in bubble mailers and poly bags started in at least January and February. So I was working there during the time when I started to see this become a thing, when I saw this pop up on YouTube and when I saw this pop up on Facebook and Instagram. However, I was currently employed with them, so I couldn't say anything because I didn't want to get in trouble. Like I said, I have nothing to lose now, and I have anything to gain by telling you guys this information. So again, I don't have a straight answer, but what I was told by 3 different people. So I'm going to tell you what I heard from a key holder, which is a step below a manager. I'm going to tell you what I heard from an associate manager, assistant manager, a step below management. And I'm going to tell you what I heard from my store manager. So again, take this however you want to. I'm just putting it out there. I'm letting you form your own opinion of what you think. I don't have a definitive answer, but I'm going to give you a little background information. So the reason why I was able to go to these 3 people and ask about this is because I was in charge of morning shipment. I was the person that put out not only merchandise, body jewelry, I was the person that was in charge of checking the street dates for Funkos and putting them out. So myself and my managers are the only ones that had access to these Funko Pops. Not the sales associates. I mean, the sales associate could go back and get them, but I was the one that was in charge of putting them out, street dating them, and the manager would confirm. So when I got this job, I asked them, okay, what happened to the person that was doing this before me? And they said that the person that was doing the Funkos before me got fired because they were opening the boxes, taking the chases, placing them outside of the back door, which is where you would go to bring the garbage, and then they would go pick them up at the end of the night. So essentially they were taking the chases and taking them out of retail, customers able to purchase, putting it in the back, putting it in a box labeled as trash with other cardboard boxes with plastic bags, and they were taking it out. So essentially they were stealing, not only from the company, they were stealing from the Hot Topic shoppers, the customers. So I was like, wow, damn, okay, so that was my first introduction to Hot Topic, is when they told me I was going to be the person that does the shipment, what happened to the person that was doing this for me? Because again, I wanted to know. They said that person got fired because they were taking the chases and they were taking exclusives and essentially either keeping them for themselves, flipping them, selling them, what have you. So, in that time working there, we got a lot of people that come in to buy Funko, a lot of people that were flippers, a lot of people that would buy multiples. However, I think on convention exclusives or on retail exclusives, there was a limit of, I want to say it was like 2 or 3. So again, I'm going to tell you what the key holder said about that whole situation. I'm going to tell you what the assistant manager said about the whole situation. And I'm going to tell you what the store manager said. So I got 3 different answers from 3 different people. So let's start off with the key holder, the person that is below, a step below management. So the key holder, when I asked them, hey, I know a little bit about the Funko community. I watch some people on YouTube. Do you know why Hot Topic is sending Funko Pops to people in poly bags? And this is what she told me. She told me that the reason why they were using polybags as a company was because in a lot of the places that we ship to, because I live up north, in a lot of the places that we ship to, in our little, not warehouse, but shipping facility, those places that they're shipping to, in those states, they get a lot of rain and snow. So they were informed that a poly bag will protect from rain and snow better than, say, a cardboard box would. If a cardboard box were sitting on your porch and it rained or it snowed, guess what? That water's going to seep through the box and it's going to get to your Funko Pops. However, in a poly bag, you're somewhat better protected from the rain and snow. However, that taking into consideration the extra space that comes in a poly bag, and especially if it doesn't come in a sorter. So the way I look at it is that essentially one way or another, your Funko Pop's going to get damaged, whether it's being knocked around and being beat to butt. If it's out of a sorter, even if it's in a sorter, it can still get damaged. But especially out of a sorter, it's almost guaranteed to get some form of damage. But that's what I was told from the key holder, is that they put it in a poly bag so that rain and snow could not seep through a cardboard box. So that's the first answer that I was giving from the key holder. Now, when I asked my co-manager, my assistant manager, the same question on a different day under a completely different set of circumstances, hey, I watch Funko Pop videos on YouTube. I know a little bit about the Funko community. Do you know why they're sending Funko Pops? The company is sending Funko Pops in poly bags? They told me that the reason why Funko Pops were getting sent in poly bags was because they are told by Funko to do this to deter flippers from purchasing multiple. Now, a lot of people will create different accounts online, or we even have an option where you could ship the Pops to the store. Now, I'll tell you right now, I would go get the inventory. I'd be the person I have to go get when a shipment would come in. When a person would bring in their paperwork, their email, whatever, showing that they were picking up, a lot of the Pops did get sent to us in poly bags. So what I was told from the assistant manager was that they shipped them to deter flippers if they got damaged, to deter them from buying multiples of them. If a flipper saw, his reasoning behind it was, he said, if a flipper saw a pop damage, they would say, oh, well, I guess I don't need to order more of these because they're just going to continue to send me these damaged. So, not saying that it was an intentional thing, but if Funko is informing them that they're aware of flippers and that they know that flippers are taking exclusives, con exclusives, and flipping them, I'm not saying that they were intentionally damaging them, but to say in that statement, if a flipper sees a pop damaged, they'll be less likely to buy more. I'm going to let you form your own set of circumstances. I'm going to let you form your own opinion on that. So, that's what I got from the assistant manager. However, last but not least, from the store manager, this was the answer that I got. Again, different day, different set of circumstances, but same conversation. Hey, I know a little bit about Funko Pops. I watched some Funko videos online. Do you know why Funko Pops are being sold and sent in poly bags? They said to me, and not necessarily all these words, but pretty much to sum it up, this is what they said. Do you even understand how much Funko gives to these retailers off these Pops? Do you understand the amount of cut? Hot Topic and these retailers can essentially purchase these in bulk from Funko for less than what you and I would buy it for retail. There's a profit markup. If we're buying it at $10, how much do you think the company's getting for it? Especially buying in a bulk. How much do you think the company gets for it? And then not only that, when a Funko Pop comes back damaged, as long as they have a receipt and as long as they have as long as they are within their time frame, we take it back and we exchange it, we'll refund it, whatever. What do you think those retailers do with those Funko Pops? They don't throw it away. There's no point in sending it back to Funko. So, where do you think they go and what do you think they do with them? In not so many words, what she told to me was that they go back to the warehouse, they go back to the sorting facility of the retailer, and essentially, Funko's not taking them back. So, a damaged Funko Pop, they're not going to take the loss, and Funko's not going to take the pop back. So, that's where these bad boys come into play. Essentially, they can put the damaged Funko Pop in a poly bag or in a sorter and send it back to that person, and essentially they're taking another gamble, another risk to say, hey, maybe this person won't care, maybe this person won't notice, maybe this person's an out-of-box collector. So, again, not saying what's right, what's wrong. Again, I no longer work for them, so I have nothing to lose here, so I'm just giving you my opinion. So, I'm giving you what the key holder said. I'm giving you what the assistant manager said. But what the store manager said to me probably floored me the most. And that was that we don't care. Funko doesn't care. We got to make our money somehow. And if you only knew what retailers make off these Funko Pop sales and the percentage and the cut that we are getting as retailers for selling these. So again, it brings me back to the original point of this whole video, what I said. Funko Pops are the majority of sales that a retailer like Walmart, Target, Hot Topic makes. So they're not just going to throw a Funko Pop away if it gets returned. They're definitely not going to send it back to Funko because Funko has no use for it. So they're not going to throw it in the garbage, and Funko's not going to take it back. So essentially, they're just resending it, reselling it in hopes that nobody will notice. Hence why they have the policy in place. If it's not in a box, they will not take it back. Why? Because as long as it's in box, it's still salvageable, and they can still sell it. Obviously, it's not going to go back out on the store shelf, so they send it back to the warehouse, they send it back to the sorting facility, and essentially it's a matter of try again. So again, I can't say yes or no, I can't say right or wrong, I can't say that this is in fact happening. I'm just telling you what I was told by 3 individual people that I work closely with. A key holder, a step below management, an assistant manager, a step below manager, and my actual store manager. 3 different stories, 3 different places, and that's essentially what I was told. So I'm just passing this information along to you guys, because like I said, I no longer work for Hot Topic, so I have nothing to lose here. Just wanted to, I've seen a lot in the community as far as people getting their Funko Pops in bags and then wanting to know why. So that is my little behind the scenes, my little peace of mind. Why? Feel free to think what you want, say what you want, form your own opinion. I'm just passing the information along to you as it has been given to me. So like I said, I no longer work there. I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain by passing this information along to you. So take with that information what you will. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you got a little bit peace of mind. Again, feel free to form your own opinion here. I just wanted to pass this information along because I thought it was necessary and important that we had this conversation and just kind of had this meeting of minds here. So let me know what you think down below, guys. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'm looking forward to getting this edited and putting this out there and sharing this with you guys, because now that I am no longer employed there, as you can tell, I have no shortage of things to say. So as always, guys, happy hunting, collect what you love, enjoy the hunt, and until the next episode, guys, Mikey Vintage, signing off. Let me know what you think down below, guys. This is going to be a hot topic. No pun intended. Bye, guys.